Hello, welcome. Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 26 Migration, let us start our lecture with topic Impact of Migration. Migration is not a simple phenomena. It brings about changes in the population composition in the home villages as well as in the regions of destination. It is generally known that migration of population has backward as well as forward linkages. In fact, it is a strong catalytic agent. It helps the migrants and their families to achieve a certain level of self-sufficiency and a better quality of life in the regions or countries of destination. In fact, depending on the volume of the migration and composition of population changes both at home and abroad. More importantly, the demographic scene changes drastically, leading to the synthesis of culture, language, quality of life, and the influx of knowledge. The immigrants adapt themselves to the conditions prevailing in the countries of destination. Migration brings about a cultural change and its ramifications are too many. Even the place names are carried to the regions of destination. For example, New London, New York, both in USA, New South Wales, Australia, New Plymouth, New Zealand, Newcastle, Australia are all examples of the human desire to preserve their memories of the places they have left behind. The Muslims who migrated to Pakistan after the partition of British India gave the names of their hometowns in India to the places of their settlement in Pakistan, particularly the province of Sindh. It has been suggested that regions of destination generally benefit, while the regions of origin suffer. When the educationally qualified personnel move out, their migration is often referred to as brain drain. This kind of migration is likely to play a major role in terms of economic development of the countries of destination. However, the regions of origin also benefit from the remittances of money by the migrants. For example, Turkish labor in Germany and the Filipino maids in Singapore had played a vital role in the economic development of the chronically labor deficit regions. There are other dimensions of change. The movement of the qualified labor such as scientists, medical doctors, engineers, particularly software engineers, plays a significant role in the reduction of unemployment at home and generating income through their services in the regions of destination. India has suffered a lot due to the ongoing out-migration of the highly qualified personnel to other parts of the world, such as West Asia, particularly the Gulf region. The people move out because they are enamored by the shining euro dollars. They are obviously unhappy with their economic condition in the home country. On reaching there, they register changes in their family. Inter-ethnic marriages often take place in the country of destination. A new class of NRI, non-resident Indians, has emerged. They not only remit money back home but also bring new cultural influences with them. Ideologies change and the process of globalization becomes a normal channel for the diffusion and synthesis of cultures and innovations. Sometimes the population movement is qualitative strong. In this case, the change is also embracing. For example, Muslims of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh migrated to the Sindh province of western Pakistan after the partition. The immigrants and their settlements in Karachi, Hyderabad and the neighboring town became a threat to the in situ Sindhis. So the immigrants became a source of tension, leading to inter-ethnic clashes and civil strife. Now the next point is migration trends. The first is international migration. The term international migration refers to the change of usual residence between one nation and the other. The overwhelming majority of such movers across the frontiers do not necessarily mean that they have decided to change their usual residence, but both national and international migration involves a change of usual residence. Another interesting feature is that the recorded volume of international migration is much less than the undocumented or unauthorized migration. This is because people cross the international boundaries in a clandestine way. Whatever the case may be, the net international immigration has always been an important component of the population change in the country of entry. It may be noted that as a result of immigration, significant change in population composition is registered in the country of departure. A policy statement of the United Nations suggests that international movement within an intended stay of more than 1 year be classified as international migration. Unfortunately, there is no uniformity among the nations on the definition of international migration. Many governments, including the government of the United States of America, collect data on immigration but not on emigration. All data on immigration published by governments refers to legal immigration only, while the data on illegal or undocumented immigration is not tabulated. This gap in information is a serious drawback in any study of international migration. Now the point is trends of migration in India. Trends of migration in India can be classified into two categories: intrastate migration and interstate migrations. A few examples may be cited to show that the terminology used here may be confusing. When a family migrates from the Agra district of Uttar Pradesh to the neighboring district of Bharatpur in Rajasthan, one has to describe it as interstate migration, even though the distance covered is short. On the other hand, if a family or single individual moves from Srikakulam district of Andhra Pradesh to Adilabad or Guntur in the same state, migration will be described as intrastate. Although a long distance has been covered, it may be therefore be concluded that distance is not a definitive criteria. The next topic is intrastate migration. Studies show that migrants in India do not generally cover long distances. They generally move within the state of their birth and origin. This type of migration is called intrastate. Estimates on the basis of census records show that people mostly move from one village to the other in the same state. There are about 200 million people who are normally on the move within the state. Within this group are included those who move from one village to other. This category accounts for about 70% of all migrants. On the other hand, only 9% of migrants move from small town to cities. About 15% of the intrastate migrants move from rural to urban areas, while 6% move in reverse direction, that is from urban to rural areas. An interesting feature is that about 70% of the total intrastate migrants are female. This shows that the bulk of female migration in India is related to marriage. About 7% of female migrants move from one urban center to the other. About 12% move from rural to urban areas. Among the migrants, around 50 million consist of males. They move mainly in rural to rural stream. This stream accounts for about 1/6 of the urban to urban category. About 1/4 is in the rural to urban and 8% in urban to rural stream. The next point is interstate migration. Census data on migration show that interstate movement is much less in India as compared to intrastate migration. In all, about 27 million migrants cross the state boundaries. Of these, a little less than 1/3 belong to the rural to rural stream, another 1/3 belong to the urban to urban stream, and another 1/3 move from rural to urban areas. Those who move from urban to rural areas account for 7% of all migrants. Data also show that in the category of interstate migrants, some 15 million women are also included. About 2/5 of them move within the rural areas. About 1/3 are in the urban circuit. That is, they move from one urban center to the other. About 1/4 of this category move from urban places to villages. Now let us conclude the unit. We have looked at various aspects of migration in India. We have tried to understand what is meant by migration and also looked at some observations made by sociologists and demographers to understand migration. We examined the various streams of migration, the trends and the factors which go into various kinds of migration. In the present global age, migration is ever on the increase, especially transitional migration, and this is altering the very nature of societies both in countries of origin and countries where people migrate to, making migration an important process that needs to fully grasped and analyzed. Here we want to close this lecture and we have come to the end of the unit. Thanks for listening.